Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome back to episode 26 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. Just logging in for the first time after a little bit. Decided to pop into my little underground room here, check on my moistener. Seems like it's doing pretty good, converting some wheat around and made our way towards some mycelium. Not bad at all. And this is going to be a manual system for now, I think. I might set up one of those automatic deals, but yeah, we'll see what happens. And then what else do we have going on today? I think today I want to start working with a mod that I have not really shown much of yet on this series. But before I do that, I'm going to need to collect some clay. So give me a few minutes to let me figure out a good way to get some clay. I'm pretty sure I can equivalent exchange it to myself, but we'll see. And I'll be back shortly. So just for my own fun reasons, I'm going around and I'm looking for some clay just outside. And I'm going to just look around a little bit. I also want to explore my world a little bit. I haven't had a chance to do that. So I might leave the video recording for a bit while I go running around. My guy needs to learn how to swim a little bit faster. Guess it's not easy with that quantum suit on, is it? Good thing I got some food to keep care of myself. Alright, that should be good. I think I missed a little piece. There it is. Nice. So let's head off in this direction here. We're going to explore a little bit, collect some clay along the way. Looking forward to getting that quantum helmet, then I don't have any problems with breathing underwater, will I? Nope. Also solve all my food problems. I should work on getting that sooner rather than later, I guess. I do love how quickly the drill can pick up both things that shovels and pickaxes are required for. One tool to do everything. Love it. I also like how common clay seems to be after the 1.9/1.0 update. For those of you who don't know, when Minecraft went, I don't know exactly what update it was, but they basically made clay a little bit more common than it used to be. So, pretty easy to find nowadays. Which is half the reason I don't mind going and looking for it. And like I said, partially want to explore this world a little bit, because I haven't had a chance to look around. Probably generating new terrain as I move. Believe it or not. Yeah, see, look how common this clay is. It's everywhere. Plenty of inventory space, but I brought my alchemical bag around. Don't worry, I didn't forget I had it. I may forget to breathe, but I didn't forget about my bag. So some pretty cool stuff around here. Alright guys, so I ran around outside a while, checked some things out. Let me go dump all my clay that I collected into my miscellaneous materials list. I'll also go ahead and throw this guy into my sorting system. And I think I've reached a point in my sorting system where it needs to be upgraded a little bit. I don't like the fact that I can't just, you know, throw more things in here. I've kind of run out of pipes and lines to use. So I might want to upgrade this a little bit. So let's see what we can do to get more sorting options available to us. So the first thing I need to do is turn off my quarry so that I don't continuously pump all kinds of stuff in here. So let's go find the off switch for that guy. Thank you. Might as well turn this off too. I can wait a little bit before collecting. Nah, I'll leave that running. I want to keep my forestry income coming in. So that's good. And the forestry stuff can just accumulate in this large chest. And what I might do real quick is just place down a redstone torch next to this sorter. And that turns it off, basically. Well, it forces it to stay on, instead of pulsing on and off. So any extra stuff will hang out in this chest, and we'll be able to mess around with the sorting system a little bit while we're waiting. I'll be back once I've crafted a sorting machine, which as you know requires a couple pieces, so I'm going to skip all that. Alright, there we go. Filter, red doped wafers, blue alloy ingot, iron around the sides, sorting machine. Sweet. I might need to get some different colored dyes, but I'll be alright, I think. So let's see. Where am I at with my red power equivalent exchange goodies? I'm going to get you, and I'm going to grab all the paintbrushes as well. That should be good. And, you know, if I need anything else, I'll figure it out as I go along, as always. I'm also going to grab some blue alloy wire in case I need that. So let's get ready to mess around with our sorting system underground here. So I'm just going to open up the floorboards. so I can get down and dirty with this stuff. And I'm thinking what I want to do is basically and very simply add a sorting machine in line to the main system that I can, mess around and change stuff with. So what's going to happen is I'm going to set the white output block to dump items directly into the sorting machine that I'm about to put in there. That way anything that I don't list in this sorting machine will immediately go to this sorting machine. And this sorting machine will then sort any items that come to it. Makes sense. So in order to do that, I'm going to need to do something like, let's see now. Let me think this through real quick and I'll be right back once I have a design in my head. Alright guys, so I just rewired my bluetricity wire here a little bit. Nothing too drastic. And I'm trying this out, and I'll be honest with you, I'm just kind of going through my head with how I want this design to work. So I might be making a mistake here and there, but you guys said you like seeing that, so cool, why not? So I'm going to place down this white paint right here. And if I double check my sorting machine, you can see white is where items will go when we don't know what to do with them. Nice. And if we come back here and place down our sorting machine on this guy, the new one that we just created, that is, ta-da, and grab my screwdriver and reorient it, and I think that's maybe correct. Yeah, that looks good to me. So all the colorful stuff is on the back. And then I can run some piping out here and connect it like so. Now what this should mean, if everything's set up properly that is, items should come through here if they don't know where to go, and then go back out this way once they do know what to do. So let's maybe test this real quick. What do we got inside our machine here? Yeah, we'll do red. So let's move this guy. So we've got some sand in here, that's cool. And we'll let it suck up some of the sand. So what I'm going to do is collect the sand and gravel and dirt. I'll just throw this on the ground. And I'm going to knock this line off here. So there's nothing, it has no idea what to do with sand. And then I'm going to go into this guy and tell him, first off, that he needs to be one of these else systems. And we'll say white is the path to follow. Wonder if that's going to be a problem or not. I guess we'll find out. I might have to change that from white to something else for my miscellaneous. But we'll see what happens. And I'm going to place sand in here and make it the red slot once I find red in the system. And we'll do the same for a piece of dirt. And let's go get that gravel that we dropped up there. There we go. And place him in as well. Now, of course, I do also need to hook him up to a little bit of bluetricity. So let's get a wire running to him. Like I said, a little bit of cramped quarters, trying to go for a nice, clean design. So what if we did something like that? That should work, right? Yeah, that looks good. And you can see he's quickly filling up with electricity. Good. And in order to get this guy to behave, let me figure out how I want to rewire this real quick. There we go, that looks pretty good. So wires coming in from the roof there, and I'll just connect this thing real fast. I'm going to go sleep through the night because I want it both to be daytime to avoid any creepers and no more rain, because I don't like rain. I'll be right back. And also what I'm going to do real quick is make myself some wooden sticks. And, oi, never any room, right? Oh well. Drop this guy on the ground. I'll clean up my inventory in a moment, but I'm actually going to change this from a redstone torch and do something like that. Now, of course, it's going to send the items that it knows what to do with out of the system first, so that's not a big deal. Everything's going to continue to go down and move along where it's supposed to. And I want to keep an eye on it, so I've got this lever. Let me get my inventory straightened out real fast. Stuff I don't need right now includes redstone and tin, and glass, and food. That should all be good. Okay. So, let's let this system continue to pull out its wheat, saplings, and cobble, and we'll see that everything continues along like it normally would have, because nothing can go down that white line, and it's all going to continue along the system going where it belongs. And since I left my farms on, I've got a bunch of wood and wheat coming in, not a problem. And the brown items are going to continue along their path, heading out to get cleaned up by the equivalent exchange stuff. Cool. And any moment now, we should start getting some white items coming out of here, because it doesn't know what to do with this sand. And there it goes, it came down the white path. And it got re-tagged for the red path. Perfect, exactly what I wanted to see happen. Nice. So let's just make sure if I put a couple of different pieces of items in here, it's going to work out alright. So let me get some sand and some gravel out of this guy. Turn this machine off, and just, you know, put some items in here just to make sure everything's working out alright. And back on, please. Everything should come down and go white. See? And then everything should get re-tagged as red. Perfect. So let's dump this junk out of here. I don't need him anymore. So now I've just adjusted my sorting system. I've added a new line. I can now rearrange some of the stuff in the main sorting system and make sure that it goes through a path. So let's clean this up a little bit. I'm going to move these guys over here to the yellow line. And this guy can turn off real quick. Don't need him anymore. We'll stick with the cobble going down the brown path because that's going up. Maybe we want to move some of these items out of here. So, because I might have more items that I want to go into that chest for equivalent for forestry. So we'll move this guy to brown, and we'll make this guy nothing again. And just to make it look nice, we'll move these guys up like that. That doesn't look bad at all. Okay. So let's rearrange this guy, and we'll have a black line. And we'll put our wood, seeds, wheat, and saplings in there. Almost messed that up, didn't I? Cool. And if we check this guy out, I think everything's good there. Can't think of anything else I'd want to change right now. So also I want to make one other neat thing happen. Let's do this. I need a new color for my paint. So let me see what kind of junk I've got in here. Yeah, this will work. Let's combine orange and yellow. Or I'm sorry, red and yellow to get orange. Sweet. Orange dye. And I'm going to need some tin, won't I? Where's my equivalent exchange stuff? Not enough tin plates. So why don't I make some tin paints and get myself an orange paint can. I'll be right back. Alright, just picked up some tin plates. Let's make myself a paint can. Nice. And if I remember, it's 2 flax seeds in the dye. There we go. Orange paint. Cool. And I can go throw my flax seeds back in my miscellaneous junk. Is that where I'm keeping them? No, I'm keeping them in equivalent exchange, or red power. And equivalent exchange. So I'll throw my orange dye in miscellaneous junk. And of course, I need another one of these paint brushes. So let's grab some wool and combine a stick with the wool for my regular old paintbrush and combine it with the orange paint to get an orange paintbrush. And then place my orange paint in there along with my tin plate and the wool. Cool. So why did I want a new line here, and why did I even set up this whole new system? Well, a big part of it is I want to be able to smelt items without them going through the macerator. So, hey look, we even got sand in here somehow. I'm sure that was a mistake I made somewhere along the line. Cool. Place this sand back in there. Let's go ahead and grab our pneumatic tubes, and I want to run them up right here. And if you recall, the way I want to do that is by first placing down a stone cover. There we go. And then the pneumatic tubes next to it. And I'll clean up this flooring in a bit. And I want to make sure this guy has an orange paintbrush, because we don't want any items going through here unless they're orange items. So this way, any items coming across here will not go along the orange route, because they won't be colored as such. And any items going up the system will also not go through. So, just to make this easy, I guess what I'll do is run it along here like so. And then up here, and like that. And then I want to tell it that orange items go in the orange route. And what items do I want to always be smelted? Oh right, I just picked up a ton of clay. So let's throw this guy in there, and we'll go with an orange route. There it is, orange. Perfect. So let's clean up the mess we made on the floor. Some stone covers and some hollow covers will be nice. Hey, not bad looking, huh? Let's give it a try, shall we? I'm just going to go grab a few pieces of clay. 16 should be good for now. I'll just throw 8 in there. And before I do anything too crazy, probably shouldn't have covered up this floor just yet. I do want to watch these items go through, so let's flip the lever. There we go. An orange going up here. And they're going to get cooked in my induction furnace awfully quickly. And of course I need to set up my induction furnace. I didn't want to pick up all those, but alright, that's fine. I guess I need to get under the floorboards here for this one. There it is. Please pull out bricks. And the bricks are obviously going to go down into the rare and useful stuff category, because that's the way that machine's working down there. Not a big deal. So let's run a few more pieces of clay through this system, and it should all get cooked up and pulled out. Hey, not bad. I like the looks of that. So now I can cook my clay. And any other items that I want to force to be cooked no matter what can go along that orange path. Sweet. Maybe I want to move this guy. I know, I'm changing my mind already. What do you want from me? I'm picky. Just to make sure everything looks real nice. I could do that and that maybe? Is this allowed? I've never even tried to do something like this. And let's see, pneumatic tubes. Will you come up like so? Oh yeah, look at that. That's extra nice looking. Okay, I'm cool with that. Yeah, kind of nice looking for sure. Make this guy a stone. Can I do even that? Oh yeah. Perfect. And then back to the flat stone covers for here. Okay, I kind of like the way that looks. It's a little bit more compact and neater looking. And maybe I'll even do something about this guy. I don't like the way it looks just floating there in the middle, but for now it'll function and do what it's supposed to do. So let's turn the sorting system back on, and it should start resorting all my items for me. And everything should go along the path you'd expect them to go, even if they aren't specifically flagged. So the red and black path are going through that secondary sorter. Excellent. And like I said, all my clay is going to wind up in this machine over here. So I might need to rethink how that works exactly, and we'll see what happens. Alright guys, now I want to film something that I'm about to do, because I want to I kind of know how it's supposed to work, and I want to really see if it does work the way I think it's going to. Anybody who was really paying attention when I was doing my sorting machine work might have noticed that it was pulling out items from the white line in entire stacks. So instead of pulling one item out at a time like they do here, they were pulling out an entire stack at a time. That's because the sorting machine will pull out an item based on how many are in here. So if I were to put a whole stack of cobblestone in here, it would pull out a whole stack at a time. And if I were to put 32 cobblestone in, it would pull 32 out at a time. And because the white line doesn't have a stack indication number, there's no way for me to tell it to only pull out one at a time or whatever number, so it defaults to an entire stack. And because this is an inline sorting system, it'll just take whatever it gets and paint it the right color to go. So I'm going to throw this entire bunch of clay in here. That's way more clay than my little machines over there can handle. I wonder what's going to happen. I really don't know, to be honest with you. The tube system should be smart enough to do what it's supposed to do, but who knows. So let's give it a chance and we'll see what goes on with it. And I might make some minor adjustments to my system as things come through. Let's see what happens. I'm going to put, I don't know. How about, do I want to put all of them in there? Sure, why not? So we're going to really overload our orange line system here, aren't we? Yep. Let's see what happens to all the orange items as they try and go into the machines that I have. They're going to bounce around inside the machine system. And because they have no way to go anywhere else, see how they're all sticking around right in here? They have nowhere else to go in this whole tubing system. The orange line items are only allowed to go within this orange line system. They could try going through here, but they can't go into the back of this retriever machine. There's nowhere for them to go. So intelligently, pneumatic tubes will never drop items on the ground, basically. They'll keep trying to fill these systems, and there's no overflow whatsoever. Never. So whether or not the machine can handle it, it doesn't mind. It says, alright, I'll just stick around in this tube system and I'll eventually make my way into the machines. And if not, oh well. Now, of course, you could always build something as a buffer or something. I purposely did build a little buffer machine back here because I wanted to see, based on running my quarries, if this guy were to ever fill up. And he's never gonna fill up. I never saw a single item land inside this chest. So I'm happy knocking him off and not dealing with the chest anymore. And I can just leave this system as is. And green items, if they did overflow for whatever reason, would continue to bounce around inside this rotary macerator system, similar to the way they just did for the induction furnaces. And you can see that my induction furnaces are processing and doing their thing pretty well. Now there is one other change I want to make here. I'm just going to grab this entire stack of brick. And I'm going to go down here and tell my filter, wherever he is. There he is. I don't really have to tell my filter what items go inside. And if I take all these items out of my filter, it'll start pulling out stacks at a time. Or I could have put an entire stack of clay in there. So as you can see, an entire stack at a time of items just got pulled out of my filter because I didn't tell it exactly what items to pull. Or, like I said, I could have put a whole stack of bricks in there and then would have pulled bricks out a whole stack at a time. So I really don't care what happens to smelted items. I might move them to a new chest, I'm not sure, because I am getting a bunch of copper and tin, and I might decide that smelted items need to go to a different destination. Who knows? And somehow I got pneumatic tubes in there. That was probably something I did. Being silly. So, smelted items, good to go. And I'm now going to go ahead and seal up this flooring. So, awesome pneumatic tubes. They will never overflow or lose the items. They'll keep bouncing around inside the system like you just saw. And maybe just to demonstrate this real quick, I grabbed some cobble. I'm going to set this machine here to pull out a stack of cobble at a time. Now if I place an entire stack of cobblestone inside my chest, the entire thing gets pulled out and sent down the brown line. Of course, I pulled that cobble out of over here, so that's why it went down instead of over to my equivalent exchange room, and a full stack should be arriving any moment. So I might leave it that way just because cobble's the item I'm going to most likely have a full stack of. It doesn't matter to me if I have, other stuff going on there. So, sweet. Alright, so I got myself a good amount of bricks. Why would I do that? I'm not going to build a house out of bricks instead of stone for a change, am I? No, don't worry about that. I'm not doing that anytime soon. Well, maybe eventually. But not this episode. This episode, I actually have a reason to be building this stuff. Let's grab our Philosopher's Stone here and start checking out a new recipe. If I place down bricks in a pattern like this and sand like this, we get an item called a coke oven brick. What is this guy all about? Well, this is one of the components that we're going to need to get started with railcraft. That's right, it's about time I start building some neat rails. I have a couple designs in my head, and I'm kind of looking forward to it, because railcraft is really pretty cool, and I've really been neglecting it more so than I should have been. So I'm going to place down and get a few more of these guys. That's 16 of them. And that's 32. More than enough. So let's throw our sand and bricks back in there. Back downstairs from me. Now I did grab a little bit more than I needed to. That's okay. Let's see. Where would I want to place this guy precisely? I'm going to place him right here. Why not? What the heck am I building? Don't worry, I'll explain it to you guys once I'm there. I always do, don't I? Okay. So what do we do with these coke oven bricks? Well, these are required for one of the main ingredients for railcraft. And in order to get this guy built, we need to build a little machine manually by hand. And it requires a 3x3x3 area with a hole in the middle. So you can see I'm building that out now. Okay? And the last block goes right here. Remember, we have to keep a hole in the middle. So I needed about 26 of these blocks, made a few more than I needed, not a big deal. And once I place that hole in the middle there, like that, and let me even drill this guy out. I'm going to place this guy here, okay, and once I place that last block, it's going to update and all of a sudden become a coke oven. Neat. So what do we do with a coke oven? Let's run upstairs and check it out. I need some coal. Coal, there you are. Perfect. Back downstairs to the coke oven. And the coke oven is a very simple and basic machine. You place coal in it. That's it. Done. Conversation over. And what it's going to do is it's going to cook up that coal. And it's going to extract creosote oil. Creosote. Something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it. Creosote oil. And that's a major component in pretty much all the rails in railcraft. And not only will you get the creosote oil out of the coal, but you're also going to transform this coal into coke. And coke in railcraft is pretty much a material that is twice as powerful as coal. So coal has a certain amount of power in it, and coke has twice as much power. It'll probably power industrial craft machines. I'll try it out, we'll see, but I'm thinking generators might work. And it'll also work in furnaces, and it'll work in some of the railcraft items as well that require fuel. So, pretty neat. Let's see, where's the coke information here? So, according to the wiki for railcraft, coal has a heat content of 1600, and coke has a heat content of 3200. So, like I said, twice as much. And it should work in industrial craft and buildcraft machines as well. So once this guy's done processing, I'll be right back. Alright, while I'm waiting for this to cook, why don't I open up my inventory here and show you some of the rails that are available in railcraft. You can see there's a bunch. And even everything as much as the basic rail, which is part of vanilla Minecraft, had its recipe changed. The recipe for the basic rail is 6 iron ingots like you're used to, but a wooden rail bed in the middle there. And you can see it'll give you 24 rails if you craft this. So good amount of rail from using this wooden rail bed pattern. You can also do this with bronze if you didn't want to use your iron. So bronze is an option there, but I'll be sticking with iron probably. I have a good amount of it. Everything from the powered rail to the detector rail all these are vanilla items, but then there's a bunch of other rails that are available, and all of them require a wooden rail bed in some way, shape, or form, except for the high-speed rails. Those require a stone rail bed. So how do we make a rail bed? Well, a wooden rail bed is made using 4 wooden ties, just like so. And it's shapeless, so you can put it in any pattern you want. Cool? And if we look at the wooden tie, we can see we require creosote oil and 3 wooden slabs. Wooden slabs, of course, being 3 wooden planks right next to each other. Okay? And creosote oil is what we get out of this guy. You can see it's almost done processing the piece of coal I threw in there. And we just got our first piece of creosote and coal coke. And if we really wanted to be fancy about it, we could, let's see, where can we put some coal coke and use it intelligently? Why don't we go throw it in our generator? It's obviously not as good as Mobius fuel, but it works. At least I don't think it's as good as Mobius fuel, who knows. So the creosote oil I'm going to hold on to. Now you guys might have noticed that I accidentally crafted some creosote oil a while back. And where did I put that? I think I put it in here. There it is, 27 creosote. The old recipe for creosote oil was just to put coal in a furnace, but this is the new way to create it. And since I didn't mean to craft these in the first place, and I got them the old way, I'm going to go ahead. Probably won't work inside the equivalent exchange recycler, so I'm just going to drop it into an industrial craft recycler. So it's kind of my own way of not having more creosote than I should have had. Like I said, crafted it by mistake, and the newer version of Railcraft allowed us to get it through this new method, and I want to use the new method. Why not? Now, where did I put this stuff? Yeah, here we go, creosote. So this is industrial craft and build craft, right? Let's rename this guy. Ta-da! Perfect. Speaking of industrial craft, while I get sidetracked, went and got some resin earlier. Needed to put that away. Very good. Alright. So, I think this is a good wrapping up point for episode 26. The coke oven's going to process down here. I might build a second one. Obviously, it'll probably move a little bit faster if I do. Who knows? We'll see. Whatever happens, happens. For now, I'm just going to let that coal cook up in there and create me some creosote oil. And maybe next episode I'll get started with some of the Railcraft stuff I want to do, but I've got a lot to do still. Alright, this is Direwolf20's signing off on episode 26. Hope you enjoyed it. Take it easy.